Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come in, come in, come in. Hey, you guys. So it's me, Tamika, and you are now in Tamika's Zen, okay? Get yourself comfortable, relaxed, have your drink, your little snacks, whatever you need. Today I'm doing a review on Power Book 2 Ghost Season 2, Episode 6 was free. Okay, and this was a good episode, y'all. Listen, I'm gonna tell you one thing. I was never looking forward to this particular power. I was never into it like that. It was just like, I'm watching it to watch it. Then it was, I'm watching it to do these reviews. But I can't lie, they got me starting to get invested into this story. I'm getting excited about it. I want to know what the heck is gonna happen next. Where they trying to take this to? Cause things are starting to heat up, and we got a lot of players in this. Okay. So I like the direction so far, and I'm actually starting to look forward to it and just want to know, how it's going to all play out before the end of the season. Having said all that, let's discuss, okay? So we started out this episode with Lorenzo, basically out. We having a party. It's a house full of people. They playing cards. It's food. You see people having drinks. And Monet is just walking around like she's the Walking Dead, giving everybody the damn evil eye. She's in a more nasty mood than she usually be in. You got somebody that basically is giving her, like raising a glass up to her. And she just like, yeah, girl, whatever, hitting her glass back. And just walking through, observing everything, and got the serious look on her face the whole time. And so, Lorenzo is basically bigging up Diana and saying how, nobody else could do what she did, and how he got such a special daughter. Nobody else was able to get him out in the 10 years, and she came through. And one of the guys asked, like, speaking of that, how the hell did you even come up with the money? And Diana gonna talk about some, oh, me, and I always been a hustler. It's like, oh, please, Diana, you stole the damn money, okay? Hustling my damn behind. And so, of course, she cheesing from ear to ear, and she's feeling happy that he's home and happy that he's basically, giving her props and praising her. And we basically had, Zeke come over to the house. And I did not like this, y'all, at all. It's like, what's really going on with Lorenzo and Zeke? You're going to tell me you've never even seen Zeke on TV before? Like, even if you didn't see a picture, you wasn't around when he first got out. Okay, granted, maybe I could understand that. But you're going to tell me you never even seen him on the news as much as you was calling Monet all before to be like Tariq and his mom on the news, or what I'm saying, so much other different stuff that's happening even though you was in the inside. But now when it comes to Zeke, you so clueless. I really find that hard to believe. At the end of the day, this could have been Drew Company. This could have been freaking what do you call his name? It could have been Drew Company, or it could have been Kane Company coming, right? Because it is a house full of people, and they do have company there too. And so at the end of the day, who would just be walking up in your house? And Z comes in first. You got his little peoples that he got at the door talking about, oh, who are you, and this and that. And then you got Lorenzo come over and say, excuse me, gentlemen, I think you in the wrong place. You need to be somewhere else. And so Monet has to hurry up and come over and was like, oh, I forgot, this is my nephew Zeke. I forgot to tell you he was coming. And even after she said that, it wasn't like, oh, sorry, nephew, my bad, hey, how you doing, or anything like that. He comes out his face to Zeke like, oh, wow, I hope you thankful to my wife for what she did for you. And it's like, why wouldn't he be, Lorenzo? Why wouldn't he be? Don't you think he know what his aunt has done for him or not done for him, even though we know that's not his aunt? So my question is, do Lorenzo know that that's not his aunt? Because remember, his attitude was funky when she was asking for help to get him out of jail, and he didn't want to help as far as the money and stuff like that went, and putting up the house. Remember, he said, oh, get it out from the bar, which makes me want to know, that he know as well about that too, that Diane had took the money from the bar. And was he trying to be funny? And do he know that that's her son? Because to me, he's being too extra as far as Zeke goes. He was being extra with him there in his face, and he was being extra with her about it when she was talking to him about helping him when they was at the bar. It was like, I mean, when they was at, jail, when he was in jail, and they was talking about it, and as far as him saying take the money from the bar, he really came off like, yeah, well, if it was one of our kids, that would be different. So I just still keep that in the back of my mind too. I just thought he was a little over the top and a little too funny with Zeke, for my taste. And even after that, they basically pat him down and everything. And I'm like, okay, so it's a big deal for Zeke to come here and visit y'all and come to the party, but it's not a big deal for freaking what's his name, Little Guap, to be there, and it's not a big deal for Everett to be there. Just something to keep in mind there. I don't know if anybody else peeped that and anybody else was feeling that way as well, but that definitely was some shady mess to me. And so nonetheless, you really got Lorenzo showing his ass like, dude ain't even been out. I had tweeted this. He ain't even been out 2 seconds and he's showing his ass. Monet is over him and I'm over him too, okay? He was really acting like he had some type of maid service going on, all right? He want to get back to how things used to be 30 years ago or whatever the hell, 20 years ago. And he over here like, oh yeah, babe, you could bring out some more food and drinks and this and that. And one of his friends is like, oh yeah, is there any more of that chicken? Bring it out or whatever the case may be. Like if they giving damn Monet orders. And you can see the look on her face. And then Diane even peeps it like she know her mother's not used to that. And she asked her mom if she need help. And Monet is like basically like, nah, I'm good, and walks away. And then you even see an exchange between her and Drew where they looking back and forth at each other or whatever the case may be. Because they know their mother ain't used to no mess like that. Okay? And I was like, okay, he getting a little, too cute and they ain't even been out the damn door 2 seconds. And so at the same time, there's this guy Keno there that apparently had been locked up around the same time as Lorenzo, but got out first, right? And so now he's all there ready to party, but Monet is coming out and asking him like, well, where the hell was you at all this time? You know what I'm saying? Because when they were struggling and going through everything they was going through, and they didn't have no connect to go to and all that, none of these people was coming here to visit. But of course, now that there's a party, everybody and their mother want to be around. And he talking about some, Lorenzo basically cut her off when she was asking that. And then he's trying to get, Keno to join with him. But Keno says no, that he's already with the BSK crew. And then Drew was like, well, isn't that crew, most of them in jail or whatever? And he talking about some, yeah, he taking over until they get out or whatever the case may be. And so I found that to be real interesting. And he's just there like, oh, where's my cigars? And Monet is like, I don't like those stinking ass cigars in my house or whatever the case may be. And he talking about some, oh, it's my house, I'll smoke them if I want to. So he's just like curbing Monet at every look. And for some reason, Monet looking, if looks to kill, he would be dead. But it seemed like he ain't paying no damn attention to it whatsoever, okay? And so basically we know, which we already knew this, Lorenzo is telling, Drew that he wants to take over. There's no shock to us. We knew he wanted him in place. And so it's like he's being all out in the open talking to him. And Kane is peeping it and giving dirty looks, you know what I'm saying? Because of course Kane feels that he should be the next one in charge. And this is what I was saying even when he was locked up and people was going at Monet, which don't get me wrong, there's plenty of things to go at Monet ass about. But at the end of the day, she was following his instructions. His whole thing was Drew was going to be the one to be next in charge. Kane was just going to be the muscle. And if Diana wanted to go to school, then she could go to school. So, of course, you got Kane coming in the kitchen asking him, like, what the hell is going on here? He pulling Drew to the side, having private conversations with him, whatever the case may be, like he's going to be in charge. And, Monet is basically telling him it's not the time. Then she tells Drew to go ahead down and get her some wine because she was noticing that Everett was there and that Everett and, Drew been giving googly eyes from across the room. At the same time, you got Drew giving the evil eye to Little Guap, which I can't blame him. I don't understand why his ass is there either. Like I said, the last time we saw him was when damn Mecca was popping his damn fingers. Now all of a sudden he's still hanging around chilling. And at one point gonna talk about still he ain't learned his lesson that he wanted a damn picture for Instagram. And Lorenzo was like, nah, we ain't got no time for that or whatever the case may be. And so basically Monet had ended up going up to Everett like, do you remember me? And she, do you know who I am? And she was like, I know who you are, and I know how you ran your mouth. So she was like, get the F up out my damn house. He ain't coming back. And basically told Everett to kick rocks. And we know Drew gonna end up going looking for him or whatever, but at least she got rid of him, in the meantime. And so basically it's Monet and Lorenzo in bed talking, and you could just tell that it ain't there. She's all the way on the damn edge of the bed looking like she about to fall damn off. And she's basically saying, we always discuss things. We did things together as a team. And we would talk about whatever our next plans were. Now you basically just treating me like, I'm saying, I ain't shit. And she was like, you was inside for 10 years and I was doing everything and all of that kind of stuff. And so he's like, I know that, and basically he's giving her the breakdown yet again. He's like, Diana should be in school, okay, and he's going to be happy with his position and he could go ahead and, basically be our muscle. Drew is the one that can make the right decisions. And he is probably right with all of this, especially the part with Kane. But at the end of the day, you still haven't been there and you still don't know, everything of how they operate. And at the end of the day, we know that Drew do not really want this in the same way that Kane do. But we know that Drew would do it just to make his damn father happy more than likely. And so even when it came to the whole, him being gay thing, Lorenzo knows that. He don't give a damn. He just still like he got to go ahead and take care of what he needs to take care of. So, and at this point, Diana comes in with breakfast and, Monet is basically like, well, what the hell am I, chopped liver? And she gonna talk about, Ma, I didn't know you was hungry. I said, girl, stop. You know you did that shit on purpose, okay? Everybody in the damn house hungry, not just your father. And, oh, this was a welcome home breakfast for Poppy, And so basically he's eating the food and he cheesing, she cheesing. And then here come Drew and Kane in bringing a box of clothes and talking about, the clothes is too old. He needs to get some new stuff and all that different kind of stuff. And they joking. And again, everybody's cheesing but Monet. Monet is looking at them like, yeah, whatever. Hurry up, eat your damn breakfast and y'all all get the hell up about my damn face. Like, y'all couldn't even bring, me nothing to eat, but y'all want to sit here and be acting like it's a happy, time for us all to be together. So I was cracking up at that. Then we have, Tariq basically in court. And they trying to figure out, what's going on. The judge, is going back and forth. And, Sullivan is basically saying this was a professor and a New York City officer. We have to go hard, and of course Davis is like, this is another black student and y'all don't have no proof. Y'all just grasping at straws, we barely have anything to tie him to these killings, and she's saying he's engaged in criminal activities and he's like, well, where's the proof of this, and that Jabari had discovered the criminal activity, and he was like, again, does she have any proof of any of this? And so they was like, well, the badge was found, in his room or whatever the case may be. And then Sachs even says the people have no evidence, and they was like, we found Ramirez's badge in his drawer. And so of course when they say that, Tariq is yelling like, I'm being framed, and they tell him to shut up and sit his behind down. And so basically, Sullivan says that she believes Tariq could have access to funds where he could leave and all this other stuff. And then she was like, nobody even showed up for him today. And when she said that and Tariq turns around, sure enough, there's not a damn person, not even one, sitting there for him. And so, of course, the judge is like, okay, we're going to hold this over. We can't let him out with this type of thing. And he has to basically, go back. And so then they tell him, that he needs to find somebody with influence. And of course, hint, hint, influence, they basically, he telling them, well, then go ahead and get Tate ass up in here, because I didn't do this shit. Somebody is setting me up, and I don't know who had access to my room, and it's not like it's just my room. I got a roommate and all of that kind of stuff. And so, Davis is like, okay, they're going to see what they could do, because this is definitely not your usual circumstances, and they're not going to let this go lightly because of the fact of the officer being killed and all of that. But with the right allowances and the right influence, they could go ahead and do what they got to do. And so Tariq's like, okay. And so basically we have Drew and them out with Lorenzo, and Kane had came and gave him this some type of jewelry or whatever the case may be, and he wasn't impressed. Poor Kane, no matter what, when he's trying to get on Monet's side, nobody cares what he's talking about. And when he's trying to get on his daddy's side, he don't care what he's talking about either. Okay, right now he's like, all you should be bringing me is the connect. If you come with the connect, that's the best gift you could give me. All right. And then he basically is telling, he's basically telling Kane that he needs to go and talk to Drew alone. So right now you're going to have Kane starting to separate from his father and get more mad at him because he's not choosing him. And you're also going to have the separation between him and Drew. We already see it coming because he's feeling like he's putting him over him. So you're going to have brother against brother and then brother against father already. Whether he realizes that's what he's doing or not, that's basically what he's doing. But nonetheless, Kane told him he would see what he could do. And he was like, what do you mean see what you can do? You know what I'm saying? Can't you call him up now? Whatever the case may be. Like, he wants shit done like yesterday or whatever. And so Kane just gets up and, walks away at that point after he told him he wanted to talk to Drew. And then, Drew is telling him, listen, as long as you and Ma is here, we don't got to worry about all that with me taking over and, making this arrangement and making that arrangement right now. We got time. This is probably the second time that he said that to his father since, he first brung it up. And so he's like, listen, you got to run this shit. You know what I'm saying? You are going to be the next one. That's it. And there's no time for distractions. Basically, hint, 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 Everett. And so he was like, Drew was telling him that he'd been asking about Keno and he's working with those BSK and paying them scraps, and if they could recruit they men, that could be a way that they could top up stuff. So Lorenzo says that's smart, and at the end of the day, Drew is smart. I won't take that away from him. He is very smart when it comes to that type of stuff, which is why Lorenzo probably wants to choose him. But again, just the whole mess with Everett, I think will end up being his downfall. Who knows? Maybe Lorenzo will end up having Everett killed, or if not, Monet, if she don't beat him to it. But I think that's something to watch out for. And he's telling Drew that he can only trust nobody. There's no such thing as trusting anybody. Then you have Diane in the bathroom, whatever, trying to get herself together. And of course, Monet comes in and approaches her and is like, why didn't you tell me about your father getting out? Oh, he didn't want me to tell you. He wanted it to be a surprise. Oh, so why didn't you tell me about the money? Oh, I killed the man for that money, Diana. And she's like, well, I didn't tell you to do that with all this attitude. Honey, I thought that freaking Monet was going to slap her. No, my girl went and yoked her up like, bitch, are you crazy? Do you know who you fucking with? She was like, you shut the fuck up. Don't give me a reason to, beat your damn ass, basically. And she was like, well, what is the problem? I got your husband out. What you don't want, Poppy? And she told her to get the fuck out of her house. I said, I know that's right, because, baby, you thought it was sweet. You was getting a little too cute, okay? As my grandmother used to say, you smelling yourself. You think because daddy home now, you could talk to me however the hell you want to talk to me. Monet, shut that shit right the hell down. Even though Monet, sweetie, you kind of caused yourself that problem. But, I don't know why you thought you was going to talk to a black mother that way. And you're lucky you still walked away on your two legs, okay? And so, anyway, we had Tariq in the cell, and he's seeing Kane, of course, and he's basically trying to figure out who did this to him. Of course, first and foremost, he's blaming Kane, but Kanan is saying to him, it goes deeper than that. You're not seeing the whole brand. You really not looking. He was like, who else could pull this off? Kane is the shooter, but it have to go much deeper and bigger than this. Use your damn head. Who else would have been able to execute this? Who else was telling you what to do? Who sent you to Arizona and all this other kind of stuff? So he getting flashes of his mom first, then he getting flashes of Monet, and he like, it's fucking Monet. And so, she told Kane to do this to me. She had Kane following me. So he like, man, I'm going after the whole Tahita family. So I'm like, oh, okay, Tariq, it's going to be you against everybody, huh? I hear that hot shit. And so, Kanan basically says, sometimes it's the one that you love the most. You know what I'm saying? Again, we hearing don't trust everybody. Then we have, Lauren coming in to damn Carrie hot ass Milgram and saying to her, what the hell did you do? Did you know all this stuff with Tariq? Is this what you already had planned? I didn't know that they was going to have me wearing a wire, and am I going to have to testify? Now she's scared and she don't want to do it. And so she going to talk about, yeah, they will call you in, and you're a very important part of the investigation, but you're not the only evidence that they have against him. And she was like, so you knew that Tariq was the target the whole time. You lied to me. And she like, oh, we can't do this here. I'm like, Carrie, girl, whatever. Like, I can't wait. Off with your damn head, girl. I felt bad and was saying that I didn't want Tariq to set you up and put that phone in your drawer. Now I wish he did. You really pissed me off, and you really went too far with this as far as I'm concerned. And so the topic of the class was freedom of illusion. And the girl in the class was like, are you kidding me? Y'all really going to talk about some free and Tariq is locked up right now? We ain't gonna discuss nothing that went down. And one of the other classmates is like, allegedly. And then they're like, isn't it supposed to be, innocent into proven guilty? And Carrie, oh, what happened here was a tragedy, and there's two beautiful minds that was wasted. Professor Reynolds will be missing, and we'll miss him, and Tariq is gonna go to jail for the rest of his life. And it's like she done freaking crucified him, like charged him, found him guilty and arrested him and locked the damn gate and threw away the key already. Whereas Tate is being more, neutral. And he's saying, yes, I can understand that this is hard. And if he did do this, then he let us all down. And, one of the little white students in the back talking about, will he get a chance to get bail? And could he possibly come back here? Oh, God, I'm fearing for my life. And, of course, Carrie still talking about, oh, no, he won't be coming back because it's a double murder. He can't get bail and blah, blah. I said, yeah, okay, chick, keep talking your mess. And Lauren looking at you like you trash, and I'm looking at you like you trash too, girl. And so Tate says to her, the young brother hasn't been convicted yet. Okay, sweetie pie. And so basically, like I said, I'm done with Carrie with that. She really pissed me off. Then we have Monet go talk to Dante, and at this point she's still telling him, that she's still going to have him see Zeke or whatever the case may be. That plans are still going to continue, but they do have to change, okay? They cannot be the way they initially was planning it because of the fact that, Lorenzo is home. And, of course, Dante don't give two shits that Lorenzo's home. You know what I'm saying? He's like, what the hell does that have to do with the price of tea in China? He want to see his damn child. She's telling him about how she got kids with Lorenzo, and he was like, bitch, you got a child with me too. I mean, he ain't say it that way. That's my words, but that's what the hell he might as well have said. And so in the midst of that, Lorenzo calls, and she telling, Dante to give her a minute. And she answers the phone telling Lorenzo, like, oh, I was in the elevator, what's going on? And he starts going in like, yo, your boy Tariq got locked up. He was like, for a double homicide. He said, and it's Marima's body. He was like, you and Kane did this? He was like, now that wasn't smart, Mo. I thought you said you was on top of business. He was like, now how the hell, this gonna work? What if they could connect you back to Tariq? So, of course, Monet is like, fuck. And yes, Monet, fuck. Like, how the hell didn't you know? So then she goes and sees Davis, and she's telling Davis, like, anything pertaining to, Tariq that could come back to me and my family, I need you to let me know all about it. And she gives him $250,000. And he's like, you know what? Put another $250 on that. Okay, make it $500,000. And I will tell you stuff that's pertaining to you, that has to do with you, that could affect you, or whatever the case may be, and nothing else. He was like, because somebody could get hurt or his case could get messed up with that. And she was like, for $500,000, bitch, I don't give a damn who else get messed up. Like, I need you to let me know what's going on. So, now she gotta basically deal with that. And of course she goes and to Kane to tell him that his ass done messed up again, and asking him what he doing and why he did it. And he telling her some mess about, well, Ma, you told me to go and do this and do that, with his bull crapping behind. And then she's telling him that he messed up the whole situation they had with Course Correct. And of course he's saying, well, Braden could go ahead and handle that. And she's like, the same white boy that you beat up and kidnapped. And he like, yeah, basically everything is, squashed with them as far as that now. So, he could go ahead and work out something with him. And at this point, she's desperate. So she like, okay, bring him for a meeting. Let me see what I feel about him, and then I'll make a final decision, because she's just over it at this point. And she tells him about how Davis wants the extra 250,000, and she was like, yeah, that damn greedy bastard, of course he gonna want, what I'm saying, more money or whatever the case may be. That ain't gonna be enough just to give him that. So basically, Lord, y'all, we gotta see what the hell they gonna be doing with that. And so he tells her that he's gonna go ahead and set it up or whatever the case may be. And of course he's still venting as well about the whole Drew situation. Then he goes, what I'm saying, to Dante, aka Mecca, and of course he's questioning him like, how did your pops get out of jail? And then Kane is telling him the whole thing like, well, my father, basically there was a technicality. They found that the prosecutor and the other people that was involved, had been doing some stealing, lying, cheating, whatever. It all came out, and so therefore they had to let my dad out. And Dante also basically knows the situation of what's going on, and the fact that he doesn't want to have him meet his father, because if he do, where does that leave him? Where would he stand, or whatever the case may be. And so Dante is basically telling him like, don't even worry about that, I got you. I don't never have to meet him if you don't want me to. Then we have Tariq and Tate in the jail, and that made me laugh, okay, because he's basically like, yeah, you in here, I knew your ass was gonna be here. And he was like, you were supposed to be doing some things for me, or whatever the case may be. And so Tariq tells him like, look, I could get you on all the dirt you want on Sweeney. He was like, I seen, a book when I was there at their house that has all the details in it, some crooked stuff that they was doing. And Sweeney was there, and he was like, it's some flory, frat glory bullshit. But there was a secret photo album, and he was like, there's a lot of weird, inappropriate shit in there that would be in the headlines for all the wrong reasons, and I know exactly where it's at. So you help me get out of here, and I'll help you get your hands on that, and you'll get to wherever you need. And you ain't gonna have to tell Tate but so much, okay? Especially if you saying that you can help him in this way, which is what he was looking for to begin with. And he gonna go ahead and help Tariq out, and he like, okay, brother, you know how he do. And he was like, all right, I'll set something up. So he was like, that's a huge ass promise though, and you better, be doing what the hell you gotta do. This is on your life, you damn cop killer. And he was like, that's it. So Lorenzo is having a family meeting. He's saying how they not working with Tariq no more. He got Drew, Kane, Monet, Diana around the table. He's saying he about to recruit some workers. You're going to have your own crew. He said, except for Diana. Diana's going to be going to school. He got other plans for her. Once they get a steady groove, you could fall back forever, babe. He throwing some money on the table, telling her she could take her ass shopping on the Ave. She looking at him like he crazy. He was like, Kane, you got that plug ready? He was like, I'm working on it. He was like, okay, I'm still waiting. Basically, Drew to be in charge, and then everybody's dismissed. So Monet is over it. She's like, listen, you ain't gonna be talking to me like I'm, one of the damn kids. That's not how I'm used to things working. And he was like, that's not how you was talking to me when you was in prison. And Lorenzo gonna tell her, I ain't in prison no more, bitch. I'm out. I mean, he ain't call her bitch, but like I said, he might as well be saying that. He's like, I'm home now. I'm the one that taught you the game, remember? So I'm in charge. I'm the head of the table is what I say. Enjoy your retirement. So basically, he want this to go back to, like I said, 20 years ago or whatever, baby. But it ain't 20 years ago. You done changed. She done changed. The kids done changed. Okay, nobody is the same as when you went in. They have grown, literally, physically, mentally, and in many ways, whether it be good or bad. So this gonna be interesting, y'all, okay? Because I don't think it's gonna be as nice as what he think it's gonna be. And so then you have Tate come through or whatever. He did have a new judge put on Tariq's case, and the judge is basically saying how, he's sick of another black man in the courtroom, experiencing a vicious cycle of the racist system. He's basically like, I'm a Black Lives Matter ally, and the cycle stops with me. And Tate is in the back like, that's right, brother. That's right. Break it down, let him know. And Prosecutor Sullivan is saying, what the fuck is going on here? And he told her to sit her behind down. So then he asking Tariq, does he go to school or whatever? And Tariq is like, yes, and I tutor while I'm at school. And so he says, well, I'm going to release him on 10% bail. He's going to be wearing an ankle monitor. Bail will be set at $1 million. Slams the hammer down. And Tariq is basically going to be able to go home. Okay, at least for now on bail. He's not completely free. He would be on bail or out on bail until when the trial starts. So they basically putting the ankle bracelet on him. And, Davis is explaining to Tariq that he can't go anywhere, okay? It can only be either to the apartment that he has or the dorm, and then to Davis' office. That's it. He can't be caught in nothing else. And he was like, trust me, they're going to be looking for you to get caught in something else. And before they walked back there, Sachs was busy asking, Tate, oh, well, what did you have? What was Tariq have over your head or whatever the case may be, that you helped him and that you're doing this for him or whatever the case may be. And then when Sachs gets in the back, he's still going on and on, basically screaming, oh, we know he did it. We know you did it. We know you a cop killer and da-da-da. And Davis had to basically slam his damn hands down on the desk, and he had to check Sachs and tell Sachs to shut the hell up. Like, you're supposed to be a prosecutor. You're working for us, okay? You're not supposed to be a prosecutor, rather. You working for us. And so, then Sachs is asking him, how did he get the apartment? He's like, well, this is an apartment that I had got when I was trying to get my sister, and I was expecting for her to come and live with me. And so, that's when they was telling him that he had to be only between there and there, or whatever the case may be. And I was just like, boy, Sachs, if you don't sit your ass down somewhere. So after, they got the bracelet on him, Tariq is like, I'm free to after trial, right? And they was like, yeah. And then basically they told him that they could go ahead and leave. But remember what they said, that he's going to have, this target on his head now. So he definitely have to be crazy. And they was like, trust in no one. And then Tariq was like, I'm the only person I could trust, basically. And so he got ahead and was about to leave and was like, what about my mom? Have y'all heard anything from her? And he was like, no, all I know is that the feds moved her location. And so he was like, okay, well, if you hear anything, let me know. So when he basically goes to leave, Davis continues to get in Sachs behind. He was like, let me tell you something. Don't you ever do that again. He was like, you cannot do that. You know what I'm saying? Once you know the truth and you put the client on the stand, that messes up the whole alternate theory. We cannot do that. It does not work that way. And then he's telling him, wake up, Davis. My Lord, I would bet my Lord license and my last nut that, this boy is going to be back out on the streets. Have you forgotten that this isn't his first homicide? And he was like, look, we're paid to work for Tariq. All that other stuff that you had in the past with him don't make a damn bit of difference right now with this situation. Okay? And you could tell that Davis wants to fire his ass, but the only reason why he can't do it is because he still need him to help him with his brother. And Davis, you better hurry up and get up on that, because I don't see this lasting much longer. Then he tells him that they do have Tariq's mom's location, and she's in Mexico, but he was like, I don't think it's a good idea, that we tell him that. And Davis was like, well, that's the first thing that I actually agree with you on. He was like, we definitely don't need to tell him that, because I don't want him running off and then I don't get my damn money. I said, Davis is something else, boy. He just worried about his money. I'm like, okay. So nonetheless, we have I'm sorry, I done lost my place where I was in my notes. So we have Tariq get home, and he turns on the shower immediately because he's trying to make sure there's not no bugs and nobody can listen. And he start going in on Braden, of course, saying, did you know about this? You was still hanging around damn Kane and letting him in the room and all this different kind of stuff, and this boy done set me up, and this could cost me my life. And he was like, I know you privileged and you could pretty much do whatever you want to do and do this shit for fun, but people is doing stuff out here, you know what I'm saying, for real, and it has an effect and there's consequences, and because of you, I done got 2 bodies placed on me. And so, Braden does come clean and tell him, yes, Kane was coming here, or whatever the case may be. And I went out there with him, and I helped him with, sticking somebody up, and I helped him move a body. I didn't know what was going on. I don't know if that was Ramirez or not, but I came back. I was sick. I was throwing up. And that's probably when he put the badge there. I didn't know that he was doing this. And so, you know, Tariq is still pissed because he was like, if you had listened to me, then there wouldn't have been no way for him to even get in here and get comfortable but with that, and you lied to me about it. But Tariq, you have been lying to him too, and you was not telling him everything either, okay? So it's basically the pot calling the kettle black. And as far as Tariq telling him about his privilege, he was like, excuse me, let's not get it twisted. You got privilege too. You didn't need to do this either. You made a conscious choice to do this. And I was like, oh shit, wait a minute, okay? Because Braden has a point too. Now the difference is that Braden was actually born into it. His family already had money and of course the privilege of his skin. But he's not lying when he's saying that back to Tariq either. So I was like, okay, they both basically got what they needed to get off their damn chest or whatever the case may be as far as that part was concerned. And then Tariq went on about his business or whatever, and right now he just feels like he don't want to be bothered with anybody. Then we had Braden and Kane meet up for him to go talk to Monet or whatever, and she was asking some questions, you know, to fill him out to see if she would want to work with him or not. And then she asked him if he knew the situation with, you know, what happened with Tariq or whatever the case may be. And he just was like, nah, I didn't know, you know. And so after whatever the case may be, and came up with something for that. And then he got said about his business. And Monet is telling Kane that him and her need to work together for the 1,000th time. Okay, they got to be on the same page or whatever. And basically right now it's looking like it's going to be Kane and her, and then it's going to be Drew and Diana and Poppy, okay, on the other side. And so that's gonna be interesting, y'all. Like, we'll see where it goes. And so she's like, you know, we gotta trust each other, we gotta be on the same page, we gotta tell each other everything and all of that good stuff. And right now, you know, Kane is telling her that he understands and he gonna do it, but we know how Kane is. If the damn wind blow the wrong way, you know, that could change. So we shall see. And he was like, we got to focus on, you know, making our money. So Tariq basically sees Lauren and asks her why she didn't show up at the court. You know, oh, I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what to happen. I didn't know what to believe. You know, honestly, I didn't know what to do. And he was like, Lauren, you know me. If anybody should know me, it's you. You know damn well I didn't kill no damn cop. And he was like, I don't got nobody else. You know, I at least thought that I had you. And so she was like, well, Professor Milgram says she had evidence. He was like, oh, wow, listen. So Professor Milgram is trying to put it on somebody else because she been busy fucking Zeke and she trying to take it off of him. And she was like, what? She's sleeping with Zeke? He's like, yeah. She was like, I had no idea. So he's like, well, you know, are you with me or not? Basically, like, either you against me or you with me. Because he was telling her, come on, let's finish talking about it up at the damn, you know, school or whatever. And she just still standing there looking like she ain't too sure whether she want to, you know, go, with him or not. And so he was like, yo, you're literally all I have. And he was like, you know, oh, okay, that's how you playing it. He was like, wow, sometimes you think people are with you, but they really not with you. You find out who loves you and who doesn't love you and who got your back and who don't. And he walks away and he was telling her that he would make sure, you know, that he would drop off her keys to her, whatever the case may be. He was like, I'm done talking to you. I'm done with you. And I'm like, ooh, like, I don't think, you know, you should be too surprised at that. And she was like, you know, oh, Tariq, wait. And he was like, nah, I'll grab my shit. And I guess once he get all his stuff out, then he'll give her key back for the place that she was going to let him stay in or whatever the case may be. And she just standing there looking stupid for a minute. So then she goes in to see Miss Carrie hot ass again. And she's like, look, what the hell are you doing? Why are you playing games with me? You never wanted to help me. You was never looking at me. You forced me to, you know, wear wire. And she was like, Carrie got cute. Oh, no one put a gun to your head. No one made you do this. You got caught with drugs in your room and you made your choices. And she was all with this smile on her face too, being real cute. And she was like, Norman came back and said, oh no, bitch, you did this because you was fucking Zeke. Okay, you were fucking him. So don't play with me. She was like, you got over me once, but you won't get over me a second time. I said, I know that's right. Let her know, Lauren. And then all of a sudden, Milgram changed up and she gonna talk about, let's have this conversation. And Lauren was like, no, boo, we don't need to have nothing. Move, bitch. Get out the way. Get out the way. I said, get out the way. And I was like, all right now, Lauren, about time you get in the damn backbone. I was like, we might just see a shift in Lauren now, like we saw in Diana. Some changes is going to come because now she got the real side of what the hell Carrie ass is about, okay? And so I thought that was interesting. Then we had Effie show up just in time, right? And of course, you know, Tariq is pouring his heart out to her, telling her everything that happened. And she's telling him, well, did you tell Brayden, you know, what was what? Because Effie know how the hell Tariq is too. And she was like, at the end of the day, you're still going to need him. He has been the person that you've been able to depend on, that have held you down, that's been there for you. And for what you're trying to do, you're still going to need to use him. And then he basically sees that she's right. And he has a conversation with Brayden. He finally tells Brayden everything, okay? He might have told him a little too much, but he did tell him everything. I guess everything's on the damn, you know, board now. A straight and narrow, whatever, fresh start. And he told him about, you know, the guy in the pool. He told him about Jabari. He told him about Ramirez, everything. And so, basically, you know, now him and Brayden is on board to work together. And Brayden also told him about the meetup that he did with them. And that he didn't think Monet had knew about everything, you know, from the beginning or whatever the case may be. Then we had the family at the table, Monet and them having dinner, and they basically doing beats, and they talking about how Kane used to like to rap. You know, they basically reminiscing over you, my lovey. Okay, let me stop. And so they was reminiscing, and everybody laughing, and the most Monet did was this. Okay, she was like, that's all y'all gonna get. Y'all ain't gonna get no teeth. But everybody else is ha 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 ha. And they basically, like I said, getting up, dancing around, and having a funky good time. And so Monet tells them that she's going to get some cheesecake, okay? And he was like, hurry up, babe, go get that cheesecake and bring your behind right back. And so she gets up. Of course, she wasn't going to get cheesecake. She basically went to Dante to tell him all bets is off, okay? I'm not going to be, you know, telling Zeke anything. You're going to stay away from me. You're going to stay away from my family. You know, I gotta be with my husband now, and that's that on that. And Monet, that's where you messed up. Mecca, you messed up too, because I'm still not understanding why you didn't go direct to Zeke from the jump, okay? Why you just thought that shit was gonna be sweet. And even if you was thinking that in the beginning, once you seen that Lorenzo came home, that automatically should have told you all bets was off and you needed to start making changes. Monet, you messed up because you never listened to Tariq when he told you that it was somebody named Mecca. You never checked into that any further. You took the whole Dante thing at face value, thinking about the person you used to know from 20 years ago. That's number one. Then you did some little skimmy whatever check. I don't know if you did it personally or you had somebody else check and was like, oh, you're in trading, right? And that was that. You never got that address from Tariq that he said, and you never looked into who Mecca was. So this is going to be real interesting to see how she going to react when she finds out that Dante and Mecca is one and the same. He's also the supplier, and he's also the one that's been telling Kane different shit all this time. It's also going to be interesting to see what Kane's reaction is going to be, okay, because ain't but so much Kane could do. I really see Monet killing Mecca before I see Tahito being able to run up on him, and damn sure no damn Kane, because that's probably one of the reasons why he let Kane see how he work in the first place, so Kane would know he ain't nothing to mess with. But nonetheless, he's gonna be upset too. But Monet, girl, your world about to get blown up, okay? I guarantee you, unless you kill him first some kind of way, that Mecca's about to blow your whole spot up to damn Zeke, okay? He's not going away, girlfriend. You can hang that one up. And then we had Diana, you know, in the kitchen, and her father comes and tells her, like, you know, I paid for the tuition for you to go to school or whatever, but surprise, it's not Stansfield, okay? And freaking Diana had egg on her face, okay? She just knew she was going to Stansfield, baby. She was putting that clown makeup right on, and she got so pissed off that it was not Stansfield that she want to start spilling the tea on Monet again, okay? She loved hanging her mother out to dry. She was like, oh, this is because of mommy. She got an attitude and da-da-da. She's like, first of all, do you know that she was making a plan without you? And then she was going to get up out of here. She had an exit plan that didn't include you, so of course he goes to Drew to find out what this exit plan was. Of course, Drew is feeling all like, oh Lord, now I'm, you know, stuck in between or whatever the case may be. And he tells him, like, yeah, she did have a plan as far as Zeke and the basketball, whatever, because we did not know that you was going to be coming home and things was getting so crazy or whatever. And nonetheless, Mecca's like, well, I'm home now, okay, and that plan that I have for Keno, or that plan you have for Keno, I need you to go ahead and put that through. We're going to be doing that next. And so it looked like Drew was trying to have plans with Everett, but then he had to text him and be like, family emergency, and he got to go ahead and take care of what he needs to take care of for his father. Okay, so that was pretty that much that on that. But Monet, you begging for you, I mean Diana, you begging for your mama to chop your head off, because you keep trying to come for her head, girl. I don't know how that one gonna work out, but we shall see, because they like having kids kill their parents on these shows. So I don't know, but you really playing with fire. And so basically, like I said, you know, Tariq and Brayden finally hashed everything out. And then they make a plan for Effie to go meet up with Miss Monet. And of course Monet trying to throw shots like, oh, Tariq must be really giving it to you good, and you coming out here for him and this, that, and the third. And Effie was like, listen, sis, I ain't got time for all that. Like, I'm about my money. I ain't about no games. I'm about business. I know how it works. And Effie, girl, I don't trust your ass either, okay? You think you real slick. You was sitting there telling Diana that time about some, oh, girl, stay away from Tariq and don't trust Tariq. Trust me, and I ain't trying to mess with him that way, and I'm telling you, you know, for the best. Like, girl, we remember, okay? We remember, okay? And I don't trust your ass either, because like I said, when somebody shows you who they are, believe them. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And we already had Effie do some shit in the past. So right now, I'm trusting you as far as I can see you for what this situation is, because I know that you can handle this situation. But girl, that don't mean that I forgot. Okay, let's keep that very clear. And so nonetheless, you know, she's gonna be handling the stuff that Effie would, you know, that what you call it, would normally do. You know, they're going to keep it quiet at Stansfield since the police and all that stuff is still going on. You know, Brayden going to basically continue to do what he's doing. So far, that's a pretty good plan. Then you still got, you know, Kane now telling his father, like, listen, I'm the connect. You know, come through me if you want whatever. And of course, you know, Lorenzo's getting tight with this. He's like, see, that's part of the reason why I can't put you in charge. You such a hot head. You're not ready. You know, if you really my son and you want what's the best. You know, of course, like I said, they all try to manipulate him. And he's asking, like, you know, why Drew and not me? And he's like, you know, because that's how it got to be, basically. He ain't trying to budge, you know what I'm saying, with nothing. He's already made up his mind. And of course, you know, like I said, we all know that Kane is pissed off with that, and he's not happy with that. And so basically Tariq is saying to, you know, Monet, listen, did you know about that shit that went down? She's claiming that she didn't, of course. And she's also telling him, like, you know, you can't go after Kane. I'll handle Kane. I'll keep Kane away from you, because he said, keep Kane away from me. Okay, she says she was going to do that. I don't know how the hell she going to do that when she ain't did it the damn 1,000 times before, but okay. And it's funny to me that all of a sudden she's saying to him, if you come after him, it's going to be a problem, and I'm going to come after you. Because didn't you say before, Monet, that grown people do grown people things, then they got to have grown consequences, and if he came for him, he could come for him back? Oh, okay, yeah, because I remember that too. And so anyway, we have Lauren in Sullivan's office basically saying, you know, I didn't know that this was the situation. She tricked me, telling her everything. And Sullivan gets cute too. She talking about some, oh, well, next time never sign nothing without reading it. But she do got a point there, Lauren. Always read everything. So they really trying to trap Lauren up. And I got a feeling this going to blow up in everybody's face. And Lauren going to have to go ahead and tell her parents about everything now. And let her parents get in some ass too. And so nonetheless, of course, Sax miraculously shows up and he overhears it. He's standing outside. He makes sure he disappears so Lauren doesn't see that he was standing there. Sullivan is asking him what he's doing when he walks up to her. And she's like, oh, I was just coming to see you. And she's like, well, you know, tonight is a busy night. I got some work to catch up on. And he's like, yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead. I got some work to catch up on too. Any other night I would have said something to you. But tonight I'm going to leave it alone. And he walks away. Then, of course, we had, you know, Drew, not Drew, we had freaking Mecca looking at Zeke play basketball, and while he's looking at him play basketball, he's texting Kane I'm gonna go ahead and meet your daddy. Set that up, okay? So, baby, it's about to go down. We gonna see what he got in store for them. And then we see Brayden go and grab the book that Tariq asked him to get that had the shit in it about his family. And so, shit getting crazy, y'all. We then got, Tariq sharing the letter that Ghost wrote to him or whatever. And we got Effie trying to, make him feel a little better. Like, that doesn't mean that that's going to be the end of your life. You're just getting started. You got more time. Maybe he didn't know it all. And you got to do it your way. Your story's not over. It's just the beginning and boo, 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 And basically he goes ahead and burns the letter. And so what y'all think, y'all? That was basically the episode. Like, what y'all think gonna happen? What y'all thought about this episode? What y'all think gonna happen in the next episode? Or, the series ending? Do you think that Carrie ass gonna get killed? I hope she do. I hope she do. Do you think, Monet gonna mess around and have to kill damn Mecca? Put it all in the comments. Let me know what y'all think. I want to hear about it, alright? And make sure you like and share this video. Comment, subscribe. Till next time. Talk to y'all later. Toodaloo.